Yeah, I mean, you're loyal. The way you would defend or speak up for me and our family, that is very attractive. Whenever you are like, not in a position of power, but whenever you like are walking in your giftings, that's sexy. But yeah, so that's like, those are kind of the things. It's all still the same things from when we first started dating.
Yeah.
But now I feel like it's gotten deeper. Those areas have gotten deeper, as well as I've mentioned, like the other things. So.
This is the B-side, 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 the marriage. This is the B-side, 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 the marriage.
Hi, and welcome to another episode of the Bside of Marriage podcast. I'm your host, Rashonda, and this is my husband and co-host,
Jason.
And here at the B-side, we talk about everything related to marriage. The good, the bad, the real, the A, and the B-side. So if you're watching on YouTube, please be sure to rate, comment, subscribe, all the things. And if you're listening on any of the audio platforms, please be sure to rate, review, like, follow, all those things, so that others can help find the podcast.
As well, follow us on Facebook at The Bside of Marriage and on Instagram at Bside of Marriage.
All right, on to the show. Y'all, it's fall today when we're recording this here in Houston. So we have on our hoodies.
In the house.
And so I have pockets. So I talk with my hands, so they'll be in my pockets. So I'm so happy.
This is going to be hilarious.
Why? We'll see. They'll come out.
That's what I was like, they don't come out.
But right now I'm like, ooh, it's so cozy. Because for those who live in the Houston area, well, even in Texas, like whenever there is cool weather, you have to take advantage of, because it's cool today, warm tomorrow. Who knows what the weather will be. But today is a truly fall day, and I'm excited. So, with that being said, let's jump into A or B side. That was not my A side.
Oh, say that could have been your A side.
It's not. I just love hoodies.
So, I think I'm gonna have a and B side this week. B side was that we didn't get to really have our date night like we've been scheduling every Saturday. We had another event we had to go to, but this event actually...
Church.
Can I finish?
I'm sorry. You're like an event. I
say an event because, like I said, when we go to church, people, I guess I'm going to say there's a stigma, to me it was an event because of the outpouring of the Spirit that was there. That's why. Okay. That's why I say it was an event. Because, for me, when you're praying, asking for God for something specific, and then somebody comes up and prays for you about that thing, it's like, that's the awesome of God, that, you ask for something and he has somebody come over and just, like, mind you, we didn't talk about it, and he prayed for the exact same thing I was praying about. So that's why I say the event.
How about encounter?
Okay, that's cool too. So, what about you?
I'm just trying to help. Event is just interesting. Let's see. I will go with, I don't know. I'm going to go with the A. I'm going with the A because I was supposed to share this a couple of weeks ago, but I didn't, so I'm going to share it this week. I went to Texas A&M University in College Station. And for those who are A&M fans, football fans, know that it is very It's a very stressful thing. It's very hit or miss. But we still have to be, we still have to support through all the shenanigans, right? Well, I think that I've been placing, we had a buy this past weekend. But so I've been placing boundaries around just like our date night and the game, because they've been playing really like high ranked teams or ranked teams. So they've been having like night games, but that always encroaches on our date night. And then I'm going into date night with a mood because either I'm trying to watch the scores,
or the team playing
or
like
the team
garbage.
is that playing like trash. And so then I have to like vent and talk about all the things that we got to do, blah, blah, blah. So, but when we played Alabama, did not. I was like, hey, we're going to watch up until, this time. And then we're going to I'm going to cut it off and we're just going to have our date night. And we didn't even talk about the game.
No, we didn't.
So I feel like I'm patting myself on the back for that one, because it's tough sometimes. So.
All right. So next we go into our P2P share.
Well, I found some money.
Where we share something we're listening to, reading, or watching. So it's on for you.
You said that it was going to come to me when we start recording it. It did not.
Ain't got nothing?
No, you go. Wait a minute. Maybe I'll think of something. Whatever. I don't know what I've been doing this past week.
Oh, man. Okay, so, I not say it's a broken record, but because it's something that I do daily, this is something that, it's constantly on my mind. So if y'all haven't got it yet, go get the book by Tony Evans, a 365-day devotional, Time to Get Serious. Because the daily readings that you do, as well as, reading in the Bible, like you have anywhere between 1 to 3 scriptures you're reading, and it really, my throat. It really gets you, I guess, thinking about these things that Dr. Tony Evans is talking about, but as well as how you can put these things into action into your own life. So like, for instance, today, like I'm gonna just go off of what I read today, not even going back to this past week, because to end off the last week was pretty dope too. And basically, like, so for instance, I'll read something from last week, because was talked about remember me. And then, so for me, it's like, with the social media age, everybody's trying to, do things on their page so they can get seen, so people can be following them. They want, the biggest numbers. They want the best engagement, all this stuff. And there's companies, not say companies, but there are, there's individuals out there that are trying to help you cut corners in getting these authentic views, these authentic followers, and all this stuff. But what I read in there was just like I said, for me, it was interesting how, for us with, the Bside of Marriage, is we've never tried to cut corners. We constantly are trying to get the authentic engagement, the authentic followers, the people who are not just gonna come if we're doing a dance, which we've never done. But we're getting authentic followers that are actually, either wanting to get these tips that we're supplying to everybody, as well as, be able to continue to grow in their marriage, and do the things, I don't want to say the work, but the things that will help grow your marriage, instead of it just being about you. So, yeah, so that's So, like I said, if you haven't got it, go ahead and go get the book, because it's like I said, you can start at any time. And like I said, it starts like when you start, you got to start it on a Monday, because it's Monday. You do it Monday through Friday, and then you got I would say
Reflection?
Yeah, I would say remembrance. Yeah, it's a reflection for the weekend for you to reflect, take notes. And for me, like I said, if you get this book, I would say do it with somebody that you can stay accountable to, because it also helps to hear different perspectives of something that one person read versus what you read, and kind of be able to see like, oh, okay, I see what you mean in the same reading that you guys are doing. So.
Good stuff. I did think about what I've been listening to, and I realized that I was behind in new releases from some of my favorite gospel artists.
Okay.
So I have been listening to Worship Anywhere, live from Camp New Breed with Israel Houghton and the New Breed. So no, there's a couple of jams on there. There's one song on here that I wasn't really feeling at first until I only heard a snippet of it, but then when I really listened to it, it was like wrong. It's called "Wrong About You" featuring Joel from Maverick City Music, and that's really good because it's like some of the things is just they talk about like how our perspective, like how we have this perspective of God and what we think He thinks of us, but it's not. It's like we just have the wrong idea. And we've allowed like religion and kind of society to kind of provide us of what our perspective should be, and even what our relationship should be with God. And then it's just like, no, you have to you develop your own relationship with God, and He will tell you who He will show you who He is to you. So,
Excuse me.
So yes, so that was my PDP share. So yeah, I came through. So what are we talking about today?
So I was listening to a podcast. I think it's called Black Marriage Radio or something like that. And it was about basically they had one topic they was going to talk about. Okay. But as they started talking, they had basically pivoted in the actual in the podcast.
Okay.
They pivoted, and because it was talking about, attractiveness to one another and stuff like that. And when I listened to this podcast, I think it was a while ago, but they just had a newborn and stuff like that. So, and it kind of it made me reflect on when, we had our kids when they was little, newborn and stuff like that. And even just the conversations, the thing that we laughed about, because they talked about Bonnetgate, wearing bonnets. Mm-hmm. So like stuff like that, and and then he was joking, and she was like, okay, when the last time you worked out? He was like, yesterday I did 10 push-ups. So it was like comedic. So I was like, okay, let's have this same conversation. So
okay,
but we're not gonna do it in that space because we are not newborn parents anymore. Like
no,
we don't have kids.
We're entering into a different phase.
Yeah.
Yes.
So basically, I'm gonna start it off. So when you first met me, what was the attraction to me when you met me or when we first started dating?
I'm gonna say when I first met you, I wasn't attracted to you. I thought you were insane. Okay. I couldn't get back. I was like, this guy is bananas.
Okay.
So going past that, I don't know. Like, I guess it wasn't anything physical. Mm-hmm. It was more like your confidence. Mm-hmm. Because I was like, for this dude to say all the crazy stuff that he said when we first met, and then finding out like, oh, she was with someone, and then be like, but this is how it's gonna be, kind of thing. I was just like, okay, how about that?
Okay, so it was more of my confidence than anything else.
Yeah, because I'm not necessarily like, well, I thought I would if I did get married. Mm-hmm. It will be a tall, chocolates, man, because I just figured that would be it. You know, that was like, I just figured, because I'm chocolate, we would have chocolate babies. So if I got married, which I didn't think I would, I'd be like, if I settle down, it's going to probably be with a guy who was tall and chocolate.
Okay.
So when I met you, like I said, I already told you what my intentions were. I was just going to have someone else in a different area code, and it's going to be fun times.
Okay.
So
during, I guess, being that when you first met me, that spoke was a confidence, but then as we talked before that first time you actually came to visit, were there any other things that was like, okay, you know, any other attributes that maybe like you was attracted to?
are we talking about physical or just personality-wise?
I'm not, however you interpret that, I'm not saying physical.
Because that's like...
Because, again, for me, the characteristics of attractiveness, you know, is different in everybody's eyes. Yes. So that's why I'm not pointing and saying physical.
Yeah, I wasn't really into the physical, like, because I never was, like I said, if I did settle down, I figured, I just assumed it would be someone who was tall and chocolate. But I didn't discriminate. I dated a plethora of people. Okay. So, I mean, and it's not like you were ugly. Okay. So you were, so I wouldn't say you're attractive, because I don't call guys attractive. Okay. I don't know. He looked good. So anyway, so I'm like, oh, he looked good. He had this like swagger, like his just his confidence. And so then when we were talking on the phone, it was just like more like you were like respectful, like you were really, I felt like trying to prove that you were trustworthy. Even though I was like, this is a little too serious, because I wasn't in it for like a long-term thing. Yeah. So I'm like, okay, whatever. Like, I think he'd be like, yeah, I'm doing this, so, you know, I'm gonna be with this person that, okay, cool, whatever. Like, we're not in the same city, we're not in the same state, I don't care. Yeah. But yeah, so that's what I think was kind of like, I would say, the hook. Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right, so for me, for me, answer it. Yeah, no. For me, I know. To be honest with you, like, and I've said it to you before, it was your smile. Like, it was, you know, for me, you know, it was really your smile. Like we've said it before, I did not know her name. Nope. Her name was a shirt that she had on, DKNY. Did not know her name, but that smile, I did remember that smile. You know, and that's. And then even as we started to talk, you know, on the phone and get to know each other even more, it was more like the things that I was attracted to you were about like you know, conversation we had before is you, even though we had different perspectives, it wasn't an art. Like we can agree to disagree, but it wasn't an argument. And like I said, so like that conversation about church, because at that time, that's, you know, I didn't grow up in the church and I wasn't spiritual. You know, I didn't have a connection with God like you did. So, you know, we had a nice conversation, but it wasn't like, okay, whatever, click and just hang up. Like, it wasn't an argument like that, but we was able to agree to disagree. Yep. So, you know, it was some, you know, like I said, the characteristics that I liked was that you challenged me, but you challenged me in a way where it wasn't like it was demeaning, but you challenged me to, you know, kind of open my mind up and think about other perspectives like that. But yeah, I would say that was mutual. That part was definitely mutual too, because you challenged me to question why. Like, well, why do y'all do that? Or why do you believe that? And I was just like, I don't know. That's how I was raised. Like, I found myself saying that a lot. And then I found myself like, that's not really a good answer. Yeah. Like, just because, like, no. So I was like, oh, so he's just not going to take my word, like, at face value. It's going to be like, but why? Like, what is the meaning behind it? For someone to be interested in the intention behind why I did things or why I said things or believed things was like, that was very interesting to me. Okay. Intriguing.
So now, as we talked about, when we first started dating, when we first met. Now, 16 years later.
Woo, 16 years?
Yes, 16 years. 16 years later.
Now, 16 years later, what?
Has those things that you were attracted to changed? Or amended, I'll say like that. So not so much change because maybe it's still some are still the same,
Yeah.
and then there are other things that got amended to it. I'm just trying to.
Yeah, I mean, you're loyal. The way you would defend or speak up for me and our family. That is very attractive. Whenever you are like, not in a position of power, but whenever you like are walking in your giftings, that's sexy. But yeah, so that's like, those are kind of the things. It's all still the same things from when we first started dating.
Yeah.
But now I feel like it's gotten deeper. Those areas have gotten deeper, as well as I've mentioned, like the other things have come.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, it's, for, I guess, and I'll say for myself with you is I would say some have, I'll say they stayed the same. Oh goodness, my stomach, sorry. And then some have either been additions or changed because, for instance, like when you started to kind of like be protective of me, like I never had that before. So, and I'll just, I talk, like when we talk about like, when my mom passed, even with my friends, like, we would go to New York and you would like defend me in front of my friends. I'm like, oh snap, go ahead. And I could just lean back and be like, yeah. Like, so stuff like that, like for me, that was, that's something that, continue to attract me, how do I say it? I don't know. That you continue to attract me with that quality. Is that the right way to say it? I don't know. Anyway,
but I get what you're saying.
Yeah. As well as, just not even say just the things that you do at home to take care of us. Like you continue to, again, like I said, you take care of this house. Like, when I was at the past job that I had, like, you could have quickly just be like, you know what, I'm done, I'm out. Like you could have just left. But the simple fact is that, see your face.
Because you already know what I was going to say to that.
Yeah, I know. But the simple fact that in spite of the time that we was in, you still saw the future. You still saw that, this is just a moment in time and that we're going to go get through this, but we're still going to work at it. And it's never been with me and you like, you do your own thing, I do my own thing. We always are setting goals and moving stuff forward together. And that's something that, for me, that I needed that, but I didn't know I needed that. I needed that so we can continue to be on track with things. So
I would agree with that. I feel like both of us, which was so interesting why we both like while we were attracted to each other, because you were very much used to having to do things, do it on your own. You were the responsible one, like, so you were used to, kind of carrying the load. Yeah. And I was just strong-willed and was like, I'll figure it out. Like, so for us to have that in common and then get married, we both had to learn how we don't have to do it alone.
Correct.
And then how that showed up in different ways, like from small things, like the house stuff, to big things, just like even making decisions or even just like, taking care of our parents. It's just, it was like we both were like, well, it's my responsibility, but it's not. It was our responsibility in having to work through like what that looks like. Yeah, being able to truly lean on each other.
Yeah.
And help each other out. And knowing that kind of one of the things is like marriage is 50-50. And it's not. No, it's not. Like sometimes you're giving a lot.
Yeah.
Because the other person needs a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not all. The problem comes in when it's always that way.
Yeah.
And that's not sustainable. But I think that was something that we definitely had to work out. And and I feel like we just bring out the best in each other, so that we're able to see, things in each other that either others don't see or maybe we don't see in ourselves.
Okay.
Right.
All right. So, so as I was kind of producing this episode, I thought of a song back in the day that, not the one that I sung, but another, like a Music Soul Child song about,
Oh, wait, which one is this?
Not love. That's what I just said. Not love. Not the song. Not.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the OG song by the Yin Yang Twins. That's what I thought you were talking about first.
No.
Oh.
Oh my goodness.
Hey, you act like we only have like one song.
Oh, okay.
It's like we have
funny thing.
All the songs.
Funny thing that I heard was the song "Love" was actually titled "God." That's. Yeah.
What? So love was supposed to be God?
It's
or it's a song about God?
Correct.
Okay,
Yeah.
I believe that.
Yeah.
But I was like, I don't need that to be God. Nope.
But so the song,
It don't hit the same.
I think it's "Don't Change." When it's
Yes.
yeah, that song there.
I love that song too.
Yeah, it made me think of that. It's like, in marriage, as years go by, things change.
Yes.
And
Yes, they do.
even though things change, I always look, that's how I always look at it, but things get better because the change is a progress in both of us.
Yes.
We're meant to grow. We're not meant to stay in that same spot. So, like your attractiveness physically for me continues to grow because, the way you were when we first met is not how you are today.
Nope.
And I for me, like I said, I still continue to love on you.
Yes.
Your face.
I wish I still looked like I did back then. That's what that face was about.
I know. That's why I said
But it's
that.
different for guys and girls.
Explain that.
Well, I mean...
That's why I brought it up, because I wanted you to explain that.
Well, I already talked about how kids are... Yes, they're a blessing from God, but yet they do damage on on a woman's body physically and mentally. Mm-hmm. And so navigating childbirth and like the way the body changes and even just genetics trying to creep in. And so it's just a lot to juggle. And yes, although you may find it attractive, I have tried to change my focus on trying to be that weight, but more like just being healthy. Mm. Because it is, like you see pictures, Throwback Thursdays, and I'm just like, I want to look like that again. Size-wise. So yeah, so it's just changes.
So if you, I guess not say you'd be more comfortable if you was that size again, or like what is it about being that size that that you want to be? Like,
well,
what is it about?
After what I said the other day, I feel like if I was smaller, then I don't have to be that size, because I realized I was very skinny then, and I don't need to be skinny like that. Okay. That's like, I feel like if I look like that now, people will think I'm sick. Okay. So I don't want to be that, but I do just want to be I want to be in a healthy range. I'm not finna put no numbers out here on this podcast.
No, I'm not. Like, I'm not telling you to give me numbers. I'm just asking, what about it? Because again, healthy is, again, when I've always, they have the doctors have their BMI stuff.
Yeah. Well, already
And
I know how you feel about that.
I know, that's what I'm saying. So it's
Definitely
like,
know.
healthy is, health.
For me,
That's what I'm saying.
not.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like if it's healthy for me, then it will be healthy for the doctors. My doctors are not crazy.
Yeah.
Like when it comes to BMI, I guess for women, or I don't know, I have a black female doctor,
Yeah.
so
She'll be like,
maybe
oh.
that's why like everything's in perspective.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's really it. I just want to be slimmer, and not like skinty, just slimmer. Really, if I get rid of this belly that these kids left me with. And I see how like people be joking like, oh, I still got baby weight. Mm-hmm. Yes, that's that baby weight, man. Also, too, I felt like I wasn't ready, like mentally and physically ready to have a third kid.
Yeah.
Because I was still, we were still trying to understand, like I was still trying to understand the impacts of having Ivy.
Yeah.
And then to go right back in it.
Yeah.
And because I had a newborn and Aiden was a kid, well, a toddler.
Yeah.
He wasn't a toddler. He was like,
5.
well, that's not really a toddler. But anyways,
Yeah.
like a young child. So I was too tired to do the things that I had done for Aiden and for Ivy. And then Michael was like, hey, we right back in this. And so that's why I kind of felt like, and I always felt like, there might be a situation going on in front of our house right now.
Oh, right here.
What we gonna do? Okay, I'm not gonna apologize for the interruption. Something happened, but it really goes to show, it really feeds back into what we were talking about, because my husband is a helper. And he will get in and do things that I don't like to do. Like one, be it that I have to be extroverted or it grosses me out or whatever, or it's out of my comfort zone. So he does things like he will be like, I'm in there with you. And that's literally just what happened. He was very, he helped me be a good neighbor, that we were very good neighbors to the incident that just happened.
Yeah.
And that's attractive because at least I know that he's always, he has a helping heart and he's not going to leave me stranded.
Gotta laugh about this. Gotta laugh a
Why?
little bit. No, I'm not about that.
This, to lighten it, yes.
To lighten it, to laugh.
Yes.
That's what I mean. I'm not saying about what just happened. It's about,
Yeah. So yeah. And with that, let's go ahead and wrap this episode up.
Yeah. So
It's hard to come back from.
So I had it written down, but okay. So I guess my marriage events tip is what we once were attracted to our spouses. As you grow in your marriage, those things may change. Some may stay the same. But I read something that's like, what makes a strong marriage is the common values, mutual level of commitment, shared interests, compatible temperaments, reciprocity, and often the physical attraction has become a function of those other areas. So I kind of want to say this, as we grow in our marriage, attractiveness is just a part of everything else. It's a small part. So, being able to be compatible, have this similar interests, being able to, kind of like what my wife said just now is, being able to be there for one another, help each other out in whatever situation y'all face. Mm-hmm. So again,
right, because I feel like physical things will change. Mm-hmm. And like we talked about, weight is gained, weight is lost. Hair is grown, hair is lost.
Yeah.
And that's one thing that I really liked about our about what we found attractive about each other. It went more than just the physical.
Correct.
It was really about the characteristics of the person.
Even though she's fine, still fine.
But I'm just saying, like I said, those change and fade and whatever. What's gonna happen when I have to get dentures? You still gonna like my smile?
Oh yeah.
Or,
She's just taking much mouth. Let's go.
like always smiling at you, boo.
All right, y'all. Well, we thank y'all for listening. Share this with somebody. Like it. Comment if you have any topics again like you guys want us to go over or do for the show. Send us a DM or just email us. Go to our website, bsideofmarriage.com, and just contact us and just leave us a note. Till next week, y'all.
All right, peace.
Peace.